Hey everyone, Alicia here from Stretch It app, and on today's episode of Stretch It Fundamentals, we cover middle split. Middle split is challenging because there's a lot going on, but there are different modifications you can take where you can feel what it's like maybe on your back, maybe with bent knees, and still target the areas that are vital in achieving middle split in terms of improving that flexibility. I think the most common mistake people make is just entering middle split too quickly without a proper warm-up and without the appropriate modifications. There's no rush to get it, so if you feel like you have to dive into it to achieve a middle split, probably not the best way to go. So in this video, we'll go over the different approaches that you can take. One way to start feeling what middle split is like is to go on the ground, on your back, and when opening the legs, make sure the knees still point forward. You could also do this on a wall, so you have the support of the wall behind the legs. What tends to happen is that the legs turn out and the knees and toes point down. We want to maintain a stricter position when working on middle split, directly targeting the inner thighs here. Make sure when returning to neutral, you bend the knees first and bring the legs together. If you would like to address the middle split shape, but are not ready to fully extend the legs, you can then practice one leg at a time, bending the knee and then having opposite leg straight. And rocking hips to heels, turning the toes up and then forward. When you start in this position, this is basically your half middle split. Ideally, this leg will be straight as well, but that's a lot of weight on the upper body. And if you have not introduced that requirement yet to your body, it could feel very intense. So you can start here, just moving through the motions, toes up and toes down. Make sure you switch sides, extending. I have the back toes tucked under, so the heel creates a shelf for my pelvis when I shift it back. Bending both knees also can be helpful. This is the frog position. Make sure the heels are right under your knees, that they are not in toward the midline, and also that the hips are between the knees. Navel is up. We don't want to arch here. Rather, maintain a neutral spine and then direct the stretch right at the center so we can feel the inner thighs here. And if you find it difficult to practice middle split because you have hyperextended knees and there's a lot of pressure on the medial side of them when lowering down, you could always practice with both knees bent, and you could also place a towel or pillow under the knees so it's more comfortable. Although the straddle position is not quite the same as the middle split, you can still rely on straddle to get really nice inner thigh stretch here, as well as a hip stretch and some hamstring as well. Leaning forward, or you can use blocks to place under your stomach just so they can act as a buffer, and tilting the hip back, pulling the chest forward to better target the inner thighs. If you wish to enter middle split from the wide V position, know that it's going to be a lot of weight here on the arms and the shoulders. So you can have 2 blocks on standby. So as you lower down, you can land here. Instead of holding yourself just on the arms, you can place the blocks under your stomach, have both legs straight, and make sure you squeeze the legs tight because this is an active position. And to exit, hands to push, rotate to lower. If that's tough for you, please start higher. You could also place more blocks or maybe stack a bunch of pillows and blankets under your stomach, because the higher the floor, the easier it will be. And once you become more advanced, then you can rely just on your arm strength. As you lower, make sure the legs stay right aligned with the hips so the hips stay centered. If you would like to improve your hip flexibility, make sure you check out our classes on our Stretch It app, and you can find the link down in the description box. And if you want to see more videos like these, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel.